This was entertainment. This is him entertaining the fans. I was on with Danny Parkins earlier on the Herd, and he showed a clip where Jerry had said, it's a soap opera in Dallas 365 days a year. This was just more entertainment, more drama, more getting everybody in a lather about when they're going to sign Micah. And I say that largely because he also was on another radio show yesterday. And he said that because you could look at this as he keeps trolling Micah.
Yeah,
like, why is he taking these little shots? But he also said Micah on this radio show, Micah might be the most talented player we've ever had. He did mention Deion, but those are only two. So he's put him right there with Deion. He said he's very talented. He said he's very smart. So clearly he has respect for Micah. So I look at it as a balance, and that's why I think he's entertaining on one hand, and then he also is telling the truth about how good Mike is. I'm going to say this, Nick. The thing that raised my eyebrows yesterday, or it really came out today, I have been reading that Micah wants $200 million over 5 years. And that obviously would go up because that's only $40 million a year. The price has gone up with T.J. Watt's deal. But today in the Dallas Morning News, Calvin Watkins wrote he wants $200 million over 4 years. He said the contract could get up to that high. Now, obviously, he knows he's not getting $50 million, but I bet you they're thinking we'll meet around 45-ish.
Oh, I don't think he's going to get 45. I think he's going to get a tiny bit more than T.J. Watt.
I'm just saying, I think that, because remember when Stephen Jones said yesterday, we want to sign Micah, or we want to pay Micah, he has to want to be paid. To me, that's Stephen Jones saying, you know, he has to come to a realistic number. I mean, he's got this unrealistic thing out there. I would imagine Micah and his agent do want to put a little distance between him and T.J. Watt, because he probably doesn't want to be the highest paid just for a month, just for even this season, but, you know, put it out there for a couple seasons. So that gave me pause, and that shows me that's probably why this thing hadn't got done. Maybe Micah wants more than Jerry, you know, more than T.J. Watt by far.
Yeah, I see it differently. I didn't think Jerry was entertaining at all when he was talking to the group. He looked uncomfortable the way he was slouched over that mic and trying to get his words out. And I'm not sure he has the conviction on Micah that you need to have in order to make him the highest paid non-quarterback in the NFL. And if you look at the deals that he's done, they haven't all worked out the way that Jerry would have hoped. So you look at Dak's deal. We don't know where that's going to go, but he made him the highest paid player. That hasn't been great. There's Ezekiel Elliott. He paid him a lot of money. That wasn't great.
That didn't age well at all.
There's C.D. Lamb. We'll see where that goes. I mean, it could be good, but is it going to be the impact that the contract merits? I'm not sure that he truly has a conviction that Micah is that guy. And is Micah a linebacker? Is he a defensive end? Where does he fit in this new defense? They've radically changed the approach this offseason, going and hiring Schottenheimer. Maybe he wants to wait and have a little bit of the ability to reset next year, because this has been a very un-Dallas Cowboy-like offseason. And this could be a bit of a reset.
Except the thing that is not un-Dallas Cowboy-like in the, as of late, is the waiting to last minute to then pay top dollar for your star player. Now, maybe they won't do it, but they did it with CD. They obviously did it with Dak 2 times. Right. We've seen them do it before. I also, it's very interesting that, because sometimes I think Brew is too critical of the Cowboys, and I'm defending them. This is one where you are being kinder than I am planning to be, because I feel like if we were to chart out the comments Jerry has made about Micah the last few months, the word that comes to mind for me is antagonistic. You remember, like, early on when he was acting like he didn't know his agent's name?
Yeah.
For no reason whatsoever, just a disrespectful, dismissive line about his agent. Micah then said to the media, essentially, my agent can't get Jerry or his son on the phone. You know what I mean? And so if we think Micah's telling the truth, which I do, that's, to me, antagonistic. The comment about, that Micah could, Micah missed half the season, or he said a third of the season last year, whatever it was, which was an overstatement but also unnecessary. And now this, which seems to be doubly insulting. One, it's implying the fans cared more about CD not being here than you. But the other thing is, it feels to me like it's penalizing Micah for doing what I'm sure Brian Schottenheimer is thrilled that he's doing, which is showing up. CD actually held out.
Right.
CD, you know what I mean? CD skipped training camp, got the deal, then showed up in Frisco, Texas for practice. And so I think that when it comes to this type of business, Jerry has become a huge impediment to the Cowboys succeeding.
Yeah. I mean, I think Bruce said it at the top where he's like, oh, you know, this is a soap opera. He's bringing the drama. That's great if you're not a Dallas Cowboys fan. And you're just an NFL fan and you just love these shows and you love to just, you know, go on ESPN and, you know, whatever social media platform you're using these days, and you like to see the memes and the little sound bites and whatnot. It's entertainment, right? It's something to read as you're like, wake up, brush your teeth, eat food, whatever, you know, turn on these shows, have it on in the background, right? Without stuff like this, it's like, what would be interesting? And so it's always funny to me because I always look at some of these things I always have to like think to myself, like, what lens am I looking at it this time, right? In terms of, am I looking at it through like, I work with the Dallas Cowboys, I'm a player on the Cowboys, I'm a fan of the Cowboys, I'm a fan of another team, I'm trying to figure out content, you know, what am I going to talk about? And on one side, it's just like, you can be grateful for the Jerry Joneses of the world because it's entertainment, it's something to talk about, something to discuss. But if I'm looking at it through a more you know, true professional football lens, I'm like, this is a disgrace. Like, this is awful. Like, this is like what he said is insane. Like, I don't want my owner to be an entertainer. I don't want does the average person really even know who what Jeffrey Lurie looks like? Or the Chiefs owners? Or the Ravens, or I'm seriously, I really feel as though obviously the individual fan bases obviously know what their owner looks like, and I guarantee you the average person has no idea what the Los Angeles Rams owner looks like, or the Chargers, or any of these teams. I'm pretty confident that even when they show them in the box and they're talking about, like, you could put two and two together where you're probably like, oh, that's probably the owner. He looks like he's rich and he's in the box, but like outside of that, I guarantee you, everyone knows who Jerry Jones is. Everyone knows. They make him into a South Park character, and you immediately know, oh yeah, that's Jerry Jones. That's Jerry Jones. I mean, it's just it's kind of unbelievable. But like, you know, on the paying Micah, I heard it light, but not compared to how I heard them say pay Lamb last year. That was a faint little sound compared to the way they were hollering last year. I mean, that's insane. That really is insane. You're now like, it's not trolling. It's and I don't even know if the word antagonizing is a strong enough word. We use this too much, you know, because everyone's a hater, everyone's a clown, right? That is hate. That is by definition being a hater. That is more being a hater than any of the other stuff that people often call other people for being hate, because it's just like, it's actually just like a lot of times being a hater is just like mean-spirited, right? Like, say what you will about someone like Nick, right? He doesn't believe in Bo Nix or something, okay? That's fine, right? But at least, like, to a degree, there's some root in football sense, I guess, even if it is rooted in some bias towards the Chiefs and not liking the Broncos and whatnot. But at least, like, you can, like, draw some football sense, right? Here, this is just like, this is just like, you're trying to take shots at one of your biggest players, saying, fans don't really like you as much, and like, they actually, not only do they not like you as much, but like, they actually like other players on this very team more than you. They actually care more about some of these other players than you. And don't you forget it. That's not a soap opera. That's not entertainment. That's just bad business, as well as just being a bad person. I mean, let's call it what it is. That's just being a bad person. Even if you believe that, that's something that you say to like your own inner circle, to your own friends and family, or your own people who you're obviously bouncing ideas off of professionally, whoever that may be. But to like say that publicly, that's bizarre. if I'm Micah, I am so turned off by this whole experience and so irritated. And I've called out Micah in the past. I went 100% out, but now I praise him for showing up and doing, and taking this approach, because it's the approach that I always say for players to do, especially the players who are truly going to get paid. Where it's like you show up, you prove who you are, you prove that you're a leader, you prove that you want to be there, you prove that you're a professional, that you're mature. I want my money. Don't work too hard in practice. Don't get injured or banged up, but like still show up. Still show up. I really believe in that process more than anything. And then again, you do get something like this. Like this would be enough for me, unless I actually really believed that my personal brand significantly benefits from playing for the Dallas Cowboys, or I truly believe that I can win a Super Bowl with them. I'm actually now at the point where if I'm like, I actually don't want to be here, man. I want nothing to do with this. Like, I mean, like it's tough. And even if now the money now ends up being real, and it's just like, obviously it's just going to be an insane amount of money, I'm obviously going to take it, and I'm going to be like, all right, I got it. But I will never look at the Dallas Cowboys ever the same ever again. I will never look at Jerry Jones ever again. You will simply just be a guy who writes the check. That's it. Nothing else. I do not care about you. I am so soured on this whole experience. I don't want to hear any nonsense about family. Anytime anyone ever asks me a question about Jerry Jones in my interviews or this and that, I'm just going to say, don't care. Next question. I want nothing to do with you ever again. I'm going to keep playing. I'm going to keep on. I'm going to keep trying to win Super Bowls and build my own Hall of Fame resume. I want nothing to do with you. Nothing to do with you. I mean, like, I actually, like, I don't think they're reacting strong enough. I mean, because like, this is actually more of a personal attack than I think people, like, are actually really, like, understanding. I mean, you're calling out someone's likeness, and popularity sounds like a tough word here, but like it is. You're trying to poke holes in how much someone likes you. And think about when you were a kid, when you were younger. I mean, it's just things that I said and what were said to me, and they're like, always cut deep, man. When you were just messing with your friends or whatever, and you'd be like, Mike, no one likes you anyway, or whatever. Like, go away. No one likes you. No one wants you here. Right? If you ever had that said to you, or you said that to a friend or whatever, again, maybe you meant it, and maybe it was just like you being a jerk, or someone was being a jerk to you at a sleepover, whatever it is. I'm thinking like true, like high school time, right? I'm like, that hurt. That hurt. Even if it was like your boy, even if it was one of your best friends who was like, go away, man. No one wants you here anyway. It's just like, like that hurts. And that's essentially what he's saying right now. And it's just like, kind of like, really, man? Really? I don't know. I hate it. I hate it. I find it downright disgusting. And I hold people who are clearly mature, who are older, who have lived a lot of life, like I hold them to higher standards. I'm more forgiving of a Micah saying that, because I'm like, this guy's like still trying to figure out life. He's young, this is all new to him, honestly. It's like, it is new to him, right? He's not a 20-year veteran. He's not 55 years old. He hasn't been wheeling and dealing his whole life. Like, this is something. I look at Jerry Jones, the only explanation we can say is that he's old. But if we take that away, I'm like, that's a grown man. Like that he's someone who should know better. Like why? Like, what are you even doing? What are you even saying? And then, like, even when he gave his speech where he's like, I would have never thought in a million years we'd have the record that we would have. Well, your starting quarterback got injured, and you had a backup quarterback. Like, you were expecting to win the Super Bowl? Like, what are you even saying right now? I never thought in a million years we would have the record that we would have. Okay, and what do you think? The fans are going to be like, yeah, Jerry, you're right. Like, I don't even know what he was saying. Like, the whole thing is so absurd. And, like, the only thing that he should have said here is, gosh, I love our fans so much. That's our only answer. Oh, when asked about, and the fans chanting, pay Micah, gosh, I love our fans, man. And you can just make it up. Nowhere else in the NFL are fan bases chanting that for their players. We have the most passionate, most loyal, most intense fan base in all of the NFL. People say it's Philly. People say it's Baltimore. I don't want to hear it. It is Dallas. That is what we built here, and I love it. And Cowboys fans, I promise you, we are working hard to get a deal done. I'm doing everything I can to make this happen. Don't you worry, and I'm excited for this year. Like, that's the only answer to give. That is the only answer to give. Anything else is insanity to me. I need to be hired for PR. But those are just my thoughts. I'd absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think about Jerry Jones just being the gift that keeps on giving, man? Let me know in the comments below. I read every single comment, so whether you agree with me or disagree with me, either way, let's get in some discussions, let's get in some fights, but ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We're building an amazing community here, and I absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all genuinely feel connected to, something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're on our way to doing it. And please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much. See you next time.